Hello, this is your teacher, Professor Nirmal Kumar Swain. Welcome to this video. We are developing a couple of learning resources for you all especially during COVID and online classes. This paper is part of book publishing introduced as elective in Department of Library and Information Science, D University Rohtak. It is book publishing. As I told you my introductory class, it is first of its kind as a full-fledged paper or course taught by department. Although, as I told you in the introduction, although it is not that much comprehensive, but basic idea about book publishing can be known. So going by syllabus, Unit 1, we have a history of book publishing. The moment we say history of book publishing, and we expect you to know about book publishing in the comparative context of India, because people say that India has become a hub as well as a center of publishing industry in the world. You may be knowing a place called Daryaganj, entire Delhi. So almost all the big publishing houses, big publishers are having branches in India, starting from Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, Springer and Elsevier. Then we have Sage. So all these big, Badshah kind of publishers, they are having branches in India. Okay. So whenever we say something about publishing history, so you are expected to learn publishing history as well as the Indian context also. Well, at the beginning, tracing back years ago, publishing, the kind of publishing or the mode of publishing or the mode of content, the kind of content or the kind of deliberation of book productions we have now was not there, obviously, after Gutenberg's printing machine. So things were developed, but history says that it is Europe. It is Europe. I am not highlighting Europe here. So it is Europe which was first introduced books in that way, so then gradually it was siphoned to this industry, or book publishing kind of things were siphoned to the other parts of the world like Asia and Africa. So Indian context, to some extent, I would people say, the historian says that it is Britishers also, they were instrumental in introducing. It is Calcutta where the old publishing houses with their old traditional traditional methods they used to publish. And publishing, like printing, like we used to separate these two things, publishing and printing. So in those days, in the history of book publishing, it says that so printing and publishing, it was a printing house and the publish. So it was not two separate entity. So again, I am tracing it was Europe. And after that, although I'm not saying the which age or which year, so you all be knowing through your books and other sources also. This is a generic introduction about book publishing history in the world. Okay. So now it was Europe. Why it was Europe? The reasons could be, it was a readership demand, because the readers were demanding to read something. Today also many studies were conducted, many surveys were conducted. Probably it was Europe, even including America. So they have they have a large readership. Even sometimes a book is published and it is a New York Times bestseller or Chicago Tribune bestsellers, or so millions copies were sold. People do read. Even you must have readership if you want to see. If you search Google when Harry Potter's books released, people make a queue from the previous day and night, say kilometers together, queue is there. So in the book bookshop opens the next day, so they can able to the glimpse of the book, or they can grab a copy of that. That is not there in so now also in Europe and India. Although we are not we means Indians are not that behind in readership. Our readers are also coming up. I'm forgetting to tell you the international authors, highly demanded authors, highly paid authors. Out of 20, probably you find it is 10 are of Indian origin or Indians. So anyway, so it was Europe. Okay, the book publishing industry developed. This is one is your readership. Second one is that what was the content in book publishing? What was the content? So largely the reading content was it was all evangelical, or it is religious. Religious means one religion largely, and that was Christianity. So the worshipping or the preaches and the gospels and like rites and rituals. So all these were for years together. It was concentrated on this Christianity religion. Then later on, it was shifted. Although I mean the historians have a different opinion about, and it was shifted in suddenly the readership catches of scientific temperament like Galileo and many others, Einstein, those days, Newtons, they were coming up with their scientific ideas. So although the religious ideas were not that much vanished, but it was moderated or sidelined to some extent, and the scientific temperament, how this world exists, how the solar system, whether the solar system, you must have remembered, like the debates continued for years, which one is at the center, with the earth or the sun. So scientific temperament. So people started forgetting, if you want to develop a society, you should have a scientific temperament. Then Wright brothers developed the aeroplane and engineering sites also, the Germans especially. So most industrialists in those days. So even the smaller countries